Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and this is a new one for me. It's about noon today, and I'm recording this video, and I normally post much later in the day, typically after I'm done with the workday, but I finished a meeting, and I decided I'd stop by home, pick up my dog, take her to the office so I can walk her as soon as I'm done working for the day, and I just thought I'd record my daily video now, in the afternoon. Luckily, I have the autonomy to do that because I don't have a boss. I haven't really talked much about myself ever over the course of this channel, but I own my own business, which I started a little over 9 years ago with my brother. So it's afforded me a schedule that is my own, which is kind of nice. And then I can do things like this. But yesterday I posted a video, and a lot of it covered Mercury FX CEO. I still don't know how to say his name. I should have just Googled it and see if there's a pronunciation somewhere, but Alastair, I don't know, somebody tell me. I don't know. But I'm not going to repeat everything from yesterday, of course, but he was talking about the progression of his company as a remittance company, thanks to, in large part, like a major large part, because of Ripple's technology and the fact that they're now using XRapid, which of course uses XRP. And then I saw this tweet today from the official Mercury FX Twitter account, which states, "The proof is in the pudding," as they say. And here is ours. We just saved a client USD, United States dollars, $15,285. That's right, $15,285 by using us over the bank. Welcome to the future, everybody. Is this not amazing? This is just the coolest stuff. And every time I see this, I'm going to share it with you because it's just an amazing story. And we've barely begun as it pertains to adoption of this type of technology. Mercury FX just happens to be a very forward-thinking company, and they're reaping the benefits. They're passing along tremendous savings to customers. That is just the coolest freaking thing. And just expect more of that. And there's going to be more channels. Like right now, they're tackling the most obvious corridors where there's just tons of transactions and where they think it could blow up in terms of market growth. Because, they say, one thing I failed to mention yesterday is that Ripple is actually helping Mercury FX to target new customers in these new corridors that are they're being developed anyway, at least as far as it pertains to XRapid and XRP being used as the bridge currency. So in particular, the Philippines and Mexican corridor, from the United States, and not just the United States, but that's where they're seeing the low hanging fruit, in terms of a business opportunity. And Ripple's actually helping to get the word out to people that do have to move money back and forth from those corridors that are using legacy systems, whether it's Swift or whatever, it would be Swift, I'm sure, through banks, of course, and other remittance companies. And they're getting the word out to these people that, hey, you can spend a lot less money and get money to your family in another country much, much faster. And that's amazing. That's the kind of partner that Ripple seems to be for companies like Mercury FX. Coolest thing out there. All right, next, this is from Galvatron. He tweeted this out just a little bit earlier this morning, I suppose. Morning my time. I don't know what time it is when you guys are listening to this. I guess I get people all over the world. Although I think most of the people that are following me, based on the data that YouTube has given me, I think about 70% of the people that listen to me are in the United States. And interestingly enough, a huge chunk are in Australia. So I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for why there's most most listeners are in the United States, followed by Australia, but that's what YouTube is telling me anyway. But check this out. Latest chart. This is Galvatron speaking. Latest chart. I'm happy to see that remittance-sized payments, in yellow, continues its sustained historically high volume. And then down here, he shows a chart. He writes this, 30-day moving average. Just look at the blue medium-sized payments and yellow remittances upward trends. Smiley face. I know they seem like they're barely climbing, but this is actually a very quick rise from a business perspective. And that's what Galvatron wrote. And yes, that's correct. And it's fantastic to see this, that he's compiling this data, which is really cool, which he got from BigQuery, which I'm not familiar with them. But that's where he got the data so that he could compile this, apparently. But this is real world adoption, and we've already seen, Mercury FX, again, just one example. But in the piece yesterday, he stated, the CEO stated that they're seeing tens of thousands of dollars in weekly transactions, and of course he thinks that could balloon into the tens of millions or more, or hundreds of millions, whatever it was that he said. It was one of those. But anyway, it has to start somewhere, and it's cool to actually see data because, especially XRP, it's a decentralized ledger technology. You could see the transactions that occur on the blockchain. So it's neat that we can actually track this stuff. And so I wanted to share that with you because these are stories of real world adoption. And these are the things that excite me because I think big picture, as far as price of XRP, I think it will follow as long as there's actual utility and as long as there's actual adoption. And that's what this is showing, is that there's actual adoption. So not financial advice, but that's what I personally believe is going to happen. And so these are all really positive indicators. All right. Next, this is from at X Big Time, and I just noticed I'm not following you. I hadn't come across you before, so let's hit follow on Twitter here. I try to follow everybody in the Twitter community that's supporter of XRP because I want the reason being I want to connect with everybody that I can. I feel like that'll just enrich my life more, my experience. Because when I hop on Twitter, it's because I want my news feed filled with XRP data, and by following people, that's what I get is just more XRP data, and it's awesome. And so, anyway, this was cool though. So this comes from, I'll just read what this guy tweeted out. CEO of Omega One at Omega One Project just told the hosts of Bloomberg that in the next 10 years, traditional investments will be made on blockchain and cryptocurrency. It blew their minds. And this is something that I've known for some time, and if you've listened to my channel, or maybe you just knew anyway, you've probably heard this, but, this is just another example of that. And I think we're heading towards a very liquid world where you can just get in and out of assets at, the push of a button, essentially. You can own fractions of anything, whether it be real estate or a stock or whatever it may be. You can own fractions of anything or more, whatever. But it can be, transactions can be done 24 hours a day. The technology exists, and so that's what we're heading towards, and this is neat to see. And so I went to their website because I had not heard, this is their Twitter page here, at Omega One Project. But and here's the little piece here. They wrote, we see digital assets as the future of capital markets and are working to ensure this future is safe and efficient for everyone. And so I went to their website here, and here's a little tagline at the top. They wrote, institutional trading without market impact, better execution and prices than listed exchanges. So looks like, and just me, again, having not known about this company prior to today, unless I somehow just forgot, it seems like they're kind of geared towards institutional investors. That's what it looked like just through kind of reading through some of the bullet points that they have on here. And they're talking about, and maybe also just maybe individuals that are also more well-to-do and have larger purchases. The only reason I say that is because I noted that they cite having partnerships with OTC desks, over-the-counter desks. So maybe that's the case too. I'm going to look more into them, but I thought I'd just share them with you now because this is what I've learned and what I know to this point anyway. So I thought it was pretty cool stuff. But anyway, that's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for listening. I am not a financial advisor, so do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea.